Jerome, how do you believe millennial and Gen Z investors get involved in ESG investing?
There are really two main ways. One way is to pick individual stocks, individual companies. The other way is to invest in a mutual fund that takes these into account. If you are going to invest in individual stocks, then you really should research a little bit about the company. You should read news articles, or you should know something. And if you can't do just a little research and look at some ratios, then probably you should invest in a mutual fund. That would be my advice.
And what are some ESG stocks that you've been a fan of over your extensive career in the US?
Let me give you one that's done very well for us, and another one that I like very much that hasn't done well, but has perhaps some potential to go in, and it might be a good investment right now. Okay, the one that's done really well for us has been Apple Computer, which I'm sure most of your viewers will know what Apple is. And what an amazing company, starting out, making personal computers. And now, of course, Apple, really, it's the phones. In fact, I'm sure a lot of the people watching this program will have phones that have an iPhone, of course. But they treat their employees well, good charitable donations. So I think it's a really good company. So it's a good long-term holding. It would have been nice if you could have bought it maybe a couple of years ago before it ran up so much in price. But if you have it now, it's probably good long-term. Another one that I would like to recommend, or at least have you think about, is also a technology company. It's called Intel, Intel. And what they do is they make the chip that runs computers. It's one of the biggest chip companies. So it's a very good company. It hasn't done as well recently, primarily because the new generation of chips that they are producing, that they have lost the rate. Intel used to be ahead of anybody else, AMD, any other chip maker. And what's happened is that it's lost its lead. So the stock is not doing as well. So it's really good value. But you never know. Are they going to improve? Are they going to come back? My personal opinion is yes, but you never know. So when you're doing value investing, you have to say, okay, you have to be prepared for some wins and some losses. But if Intel comes out of the slump that they've been in, it's going to be a great investment. So I think that's one thing that might want to think about. So those two companies are both technology companies. They're both good companies. Apple, one that's selling at probably the high point, and Intel, one that's maybe possibly has more upside potential. But those are the two that I would like your viewers to think about.
So, Jerome, what are the biggest issues facing ESG investors in the future, and what are the issues that perhaps concern you the most?
I think the most important thing right now are these funds and investment advisors, are they sincere? Are they knowledgeable? Are they doing work? And if you're a consumer, if you're an investor and you want to invest in their fund, or you want to get advice from a broker or from an investment advisor, really you need to think, did they do the research? Is it really important? Because you want to invest in the companies that are sincere and that practice what they preach. And the reason is that by investing this way, there's certain advantages. So for example, if you invest in a company that's environmentally responsible, it's unlikely to get fined. It's unlikely to be sued. There's certain things, the benefits. Also, if they are careful about their use of water, use of materials, that's a big plus because you don't have to spend as much money. So if you use less raw material, so I think the conservation standpoint is very important in my view for the success of the company. Also, how about their equal employment opportunity? I mean, we've got women are basically half the population of the world. And for so long, they weren't really given the opportunities that the men had. And now, of course, there's more opportunities coming in. Some of the top firms are being managed by women. They're bringing their talents, in many ways, displacing men, okay, a lot of them. And I think that having this equal opportunity means the best talent that you can get. And when you have women, or if you have people from other, minority groups, they're not necessarily white, but are, if you open it up to everybody, I think you're going to get the best talent. And that would really help investing. So I think that's an important thing to look at in your investing practice.